So you're asking me if I encountered any racism while growing up, and I didn't really encounter very much growing up. Now, as an adult or a young adult, or just in my adult life, I've encountered it way more, but they were subtleties. And then now, I guess we're of the belief if somebody slights you in some way, that you stand up against it because it's not right, and it's something that happens. And you think, wow, in this day and age, you would think that people are much more educated and much more accepting about people of different backgrounds. So one thing that sticks out in my mind is an incident that happened many years ago. My sons were very small. They were only 6 or 8 years old. And we went into Coquitlam. And we had a rather large camper van. And I was looking for parking space, and I like to back into the parking space so that when I leave, I can drive straight out. So I found a parking space in front of Chapters, and I went and backed up into it. And I have to use the mirrors on both sides to make sure that, everything's good. And I'm backing into the space, and this little tiny import car zips into the parking space. So I thought, oh, hey, so I just tap, tap, tap on my horn, and, I got there first. And the guy got out, and he was a European man, very big, muscular, burly. And he looked at me, and he, didn't. So I put the vehicle in park, and I got out of the car to, talk to him and say, excuse me, I was backing up into that space. And he gave me one of these looks, and he went, like shut up type of a wave and stuff like that. And then I go, wow. And then I kind of, got excited and started confronting him about it. And he turned around beside me and he gave me one of these, and that's not acceptable. That wasn't cool. And I got so angry. But I mean, what could I do? He just walked off, and that was it. I was very, very angry, and I kind of took it out on his car, and I hate to admit that. We'll just leave it at that. I kind of lost my cool about it, and I equalized the situation the best way I could physically in my presence of mind with my 2 young children, quite possibly witnessing this. I didn't want to set a poor example, but let's put it this way. I felt a lot of satisfaction at what I did that was not cool. So in concluding that story about that fellow with the that took my parking spot for one thing, but then he added the racial influence on it, and I didn't handle it very well. I don't normally go through life being confrontational nor violent or any such thing, and I felt terrible, but for the fact that I didn't set a very good example for my young sons, of which one witnessed it, and he never admitted it until he was an adult himself. And I've encountered other slightings or racially, I hate the word racial motivated, but people just look at you and they look at you in a different light. They don't automatically think, oh, that's just some lady there, that's the Chinese lady. And I guess that's how it's viewed, and it kind of bugs me that way, because people shouldn't be identified by Chinese or black or native, or, we're just people. And even though that one incident sticks out clearly in my head, there's other small ones that I have handled it better than this one. But it's sad to think that it still occurs in this day and age. And now, talking currently about the COVID situation, I'm so saddened to hear that Vancouver is the Chinese racial capital, or anti-Chinese racial capital of the world, or not world, it's North America, I guess. It's awful to think that. I don't know, it's a very sad situation when I see and hear about it on TV and in the news. And I think that something like this interview and video taken will bring a little bit more awareness to others in a positive sense, and to make people understand that, you know, we're all people. You know, we come from different backgrounds and we grew up differently, and we all have a story to tell, but we're still people.